Although you're about to start something new, it broke your heart before. Okay, so you're starting something new. It broke your heart before. But you have new confidence because you're learning who's on your side, who's a good, trustworthy person, or people or team, and who is like hiding, like maybe a good time or fun or fun to fantasize about your dream with, but doesn't actually take action plans or hides something, hides their true intentions. You've become really good at telling those two apart. For people who celebrate the recent holidays, I feel like fighting's been a thing. Actually, it's external. What's happening internally? Focus. You're locked in. You know your values, you know your worth, you know the heart of the matter, you know the truth and how different truths connect with each other. Global truths, internal truths. Like you're really, really locked in. So you kind of like don't have tolerance for people who want to argue. I do fear this. I think in the last 2-3 years, a lot of us have had learned helplessness. And I do fear that. A little bit of Seven of Cups too. So you're giving yourself options this time. You're not holding yourself to a standard. Maybe 2 or 3 years ago, I know I had the innocence of thinking that certain things for sure work. Kind of don't anymore. You're not holding yourself to this unfair standard of the plan has to work anymore. Six of Swords. I think you're kind of like... I see the Six of Swords as an interesting journey here, actually. I think you're kind of putting the swords to rest. The swords representing different books, different swords, different ideas that led you here. Your degree, the books that influenced you growing up. You're almost like about to kind of leave them in the water, and you're mourning the fact that, okay, I'm gonna drop the books that didn't serve me. And you're actually kind of cool with it. Like you're sad, but you're leaving behind all the books, degrees, methods that no longer serve you, and you're kind of like about to drop them. You're not even like good riddance, F this. You're kind of like sad and you're giving them their respect, but you're about to leave them in the water. Not even that society taught me. Like you used to believe in maybe, and now you're about to drop them in the water. It's okay. Also, it's not like you're just going off of Seven of Cups where it's like a bunch of new ideas or a bunch of options. I think there's a Seven of Pentacles on your side. I think you have evidence of new methods that now work. Maybe in the past you thought there was one way of expressing. Maybe you like had, certain methods, certain swords that didn't work. So you're drowning them in the water. You have a Seven of Cups, so you have like new ideas you've been exploring. But you also have a Seven of Pentacles. You've tried and tested some of those ideas and you have almost reinvented yourself. To get there though, I feel like you might have went through things alone. You might have went through a period of being happy alone. Or you might be going through that right now. I very much relate to that. Like starting from being happy alone again, facing the miss you so much. So much. You need to really be happy and solid alone, that you can kind of tell this from a mile away, and you're not even seeing it as betrayal or something negative. Even though you can see this, you're like, okay, do I want to have like a night of moon every 3 months, or do I not want to, because I have this to come back to anyways? An actual foundation, actual accomplishments, ideas that connect, truths that connect, that don't feel disjointed or against each other. Pentacles, resources, steady resources, a lot or a little, distributed in a way that makes sense to you, between you and your loved ones and where you want to put your resource. Like so much that you've won here, even if you're alone, kind of alone, but you're content that you can see this from a mile away, and you're not seeing it as positive or negative anymore. You're seeing it as like a good time when you want to, if you want to. You have this to exactly Two of Pentacles. It's almost like, okay, so this is kind of pushing against what I just said a little bit. I think even if the stars connect here and the stars connect here, maybe you do feel a little bit of like, you're a little bit of a Gemini energy, like you're two different people. I feel that. I feel like definitely between I would say for me that would be work, non-work. I'm a little bit of two different people. Not entirely, but like I definitely block a lot of what I actually feel. Four of Cups, also pushing against what I just said. Don't be like, don't be her in a way. Because I worry about that too now. Like, don't go on the opposite end of the pendulum where like now you have discernment of who's aligns with your values and your principle and your purpose, and who is just there to kind of use you. But don't also like be so jaded that someone might really be there for you and you're staring at all these cups that didn't work, that you just think all the cups are like these cups, when no, they would literally float on a cloud for you. You're starting something new. Even though you've looked at it from afar for too long. Okay, and you kind of have felt that in order to get to it, you have to cross all, like literally 10 barriers. The barriers will be broken, let's go on night. Literally, you're gonna transform the energy of the barriers. It's the same house, it's wands. You're gonna transform the energy of the barriers. What used to be a barrier is gonna be a tool in your hand. And this might be a little bit also of like, when like you don't like how something works, but you have to learn how it works just to kind of navigate it. I'm relating it to the music industry. For example, if you love music so much and you want to work on music, came from a genuine place. When I was younger, I resented so much about how the music industry works that I shied away from learning about how it works. I'm not doing that anymore. I'm actually learning how it works with complete disagreement with the majority of what I'm learning, to learn how to navigate it, to charge ahead armed with that knowledge. Does that make sense? Versus maybe when we were younger, we didn't even want to learn about, which came from a good place. Why would we learn about something that's not working? But now we're learning about the thing that's not working, or that's working in a skewed way, so that we can learn how to navigate it towards these eyes locking, whether in the mirror or elsewhere. Beautiful. The happy child, the inner child, the sun, the inner child in everybody. The inner child in everybody. So, I like the horses thing. I really like the horses thing, and I like that that's a beautiful omen. The places and the countries that you want to be free will be free. I hope so. But it won't be the flag that we think. It will be the child and the land and the horses and the sun. But we're gonna invent a new way to do flags. I hope so. That's my dream. Thank God. But I think that I like that the horse beat both the boat. The boat seemed so far, right? Your dream, the shore, is so far. But here's 2 cards in a row now where you're charging on a horse. This like shore of liberation being so much closer than we think. But we have to eliminate what didn't work. Back to that swords, right? Back to that. That can be hard. When you feel like you are nothing without these ideas. Even if these ideas are about liberation or leftist, and you have to face the fact that they didn't work. It's hard. I feel like a lot of times when you yourself are under attack, or you're in close proximity, or love people who are under attack, you're being close to them, you're not allowed the right to just like examine your own ideas. Like, it takes a lot of bravery to examine your own ideas, to have moral responsibility, to acknowledge what is working and what is not working within you when everything about you is being attacked. That takes a lot of love, self-love, love for your people, love for other people's, and moral courage. Like, one of the things that I don't think we talk about this enough, like, at least I don't see it. Like, I used to talk about this with students. We talk about like, what does oppression take away from you? Say childhood, joy, material building, or abundance, health, da-da-da. One of the things that oppression takes away from you is accountability. Is the right to grow the fuck up. To look in the mirror and to say, on the one hand, you are growing up too fast. 100%. You have to face up a lot of horrors. And survive and love your family and love other people and know what the hell to say. It's a lot. But on the other hand, you have to be such a representation of everything that is so sweet and kind that you don't end up being sweet and kind. That you might be at home taking it out. Let's be real. At home, you're taking it out of one of your own, and we all know it happens. Or like, you have to be such an example of like, you have to say the right thing so much that you don't have a moment to pause and see if you're doing the right thing. Like, fam, it stunts your growth. It actually takes away from you the opportunity to, it makes you afraid to say when you fuck up, yeah, I fucked up. Because the oppressor is saying you're a fuck up from birth to death, no matter if you do good or bad. The oppressor is already saying you could be anything, but you're a fuck up, right? You're a thing. So you're afraid that if you say, no, I actually like fucked up, you don't have that right. It's taken from you. You gotta be perfect, and you can't be perfect. So you end up not having that safe, like, pace to be accountable and to grow up. That's also taken from you. It's not just joy and being affirmed and having positive memories. It's grieving when you have negative memories and acknowledging your part in the negative memories, because the world order is already saying you're the reason why the world has negative memories, which is so freaking diabolical. So like, one of the things we can do for ourselves and do for each other to have our own little circles of equity is joy, sharing all the things we talk about, but actually accountability. Telling your homie who might have suffered 10 times more than you, I'm gonna be gentle and I'm gonna be tactful about how I tell you that you fucked up, but I'm not gonna like baby you and think that you're not human enough to take it. You're way human. You're very human. Like, we're both there. Whether the person that I'm friends with is less oppressed than me or more oppressed than me, we're not doing that. I'm gonna be tactful, but I'm gonna tell you when you fucked up, because I love you and because I believe in you, and because I'm not letting them take away from you the right to be a damn human who does beautiful things and who messes up, and vice versa. I'm not gonna be, if I'm in the equation with a friend where I might be systemically going through more than them, or even just locally, they know that I'm going through stuff. Health, I've had, where's my back brace? Oh, I put it back. Health-wise, a lot of changes happen. It's a struggle, but like, you know, believe that I'm going through physical pain, but don't cut me slack if I mess up. I deserve to grow. Don't baby me. Don't be too harsh. If you're being too harsh on me, you're taking away from me the right to grow, the same as if you're babying me. So do the fuck neither. And I'm doing the fuck neither for you because I love you. It's so hard to own up to that. And I think the sun is about realizing, like, when we have so much bravery within each other and ourselves, that even if certain ideas were about liberation, if they're no longer serving liberation, we're not going to keep repeating them because we feel like the enemy is always looking, blah, blah. We're going to add accountability to the race, to the peace. You know, the mix of, you know, having the luxury of not being in the you know, not being directly under the attacks, but having also been under the attacks that we were at, and having survivor's remorse and all this, the mix of stuff. We're not gonna just take that and wallow and think that that's what we owe the survivors. No, get back in the lab. Get back. Be wrong. Let someone check you. Like, why are we so terrified of that? Let the kid in Sudan check you. Let the kid in Gaza check you. Everything that's involved with raising a child, we're raising ourselves, we're giving ourselves that affirmation, the joy, building resources. Building resources doesn't mean I don't have to tie it to capitalism. I don't have to. I'm throwing away the ideas that didn't work, you know? A lot of ideas that we held on to for so long were built with people who gave zero damn about us. You don't care anymore. You don't care anymore. You're taking the couple of ideas that worked and you're not someone's just like peacefully walking away, someone's crying, but you're like, I'm responsible for my feelings. You're not ruthless, you're not yelling at, you're just like, I found my ideas, I'm gonna take my ideas, and I'm leaving the rest and just, I'm gonna go. Be careful not to be another emperor, though. Be careful not to be too jaded. The messages are starting to repeat, so we're at the close. You're gonna lay a lot of ideas down soon. Good for you. That's very brave. Page of Pentacles. We started with the Ace of Pentacles. Know your worth. Know your value. Know that truth is meant to connect. Truth, singular, and truths, plural, are meant to cancel out one another. If you feel like you're part of worlds or where they're just expecting you to nod here and to nod there, and I get it, because I come from a working family. It's hard, and you feel like, well, we need the few people who are thinkers, who are artists, who are leaders, who are creatives, to be like the famous ones online or the ones who write the books, so that the workers have someone to rally behind. That's another sword that never worked. We all need to be this beautiful person here. We all need to help each other think for ourselves. Don't handhold. What are you doing? Be real. Be real and be a reflection of being real. If to be healthy with that, I need to read 3 pages of Edward Said. Read 3 pages of Edward Said consistently for 10 years, instead of feeling like I have to rush or pay for something I can't afford, or even health. Stay up at night, only sleep 2 hours, or the opposite, being so turned off that you do nothing. Be like this beautiful, beautiful soul, this beautiful person. Don't think about big happiness, big joy. Have little joy. Whatever circumstance we're under or feel, we can carry little joys. They add up.